Season in 2020, 2021, along with Stephen Howard. I'm John Little, our entire ESPN crew excited to be here as well for a matchup of two Texas teams, Sam Houston State and SMU. SMU in the white, Sam Houston in the orange. The tap is won back by Ethan Shagwa, stretched forward for the SMU Mustangs, but they put it in the hands early of Kendrick Davis, the star of the Mustangs last year.
Interesting to see the pressure that Sam Houston State is going to be able to apply for SMU. This is a team that loves to get up and down and force turnovers, but the lack of early preparation is really going to hurt them early on.
Kendrick Davis with the ball fake, leans in, can't hit. Rebounds brought in by Manny Crump.
And that's one of the huge additions for the Bearcats. Manny Crump brought in to shore up that rebounding and got a good defensive one right there.
Rebounding is something that Sam Houston State needed badly last year. Lob to Ferran Hunt. That's how you get the season started. Kendrick Davis to Ferran Hunt.
A signature play for the Mustangs. They love to get up and down. You have to get back in defensive transition if you want to stay in the game with the Mustangs.
73 points a game last year. Tops in the American.
Either team, so this is their first time going live against anyone other than their own teammates.
What can a scrimmage do for you? They're closed, you know, nobody sees them, but what do they do?
They allow you to gauge your team where they're at. It allows you to try different things, but most importantly, you get to see new faces because, you know, SMU, they know their plays. The Bearcats know their own plays, and so to try new things is really essential, and this is their first time seeing new faces all season long.
Cutting to the glass.
Looking at this last play by SMU, and again, whenever you got Kendrick Davis, he's always looking up for Ferran Hunt. Kind of like Plastic Man. You throw it up in the air, and he's going to be able to go up and get it. Great connection early on, Kendrick Davis and Ferran Hunt.
Side of things to come for SMU early this season. Here's Tristan Ikpe. They're really excited about this guy as well in Huntsville. Extra pass out front to DeMarcus Lampley, former JUCO All-American. Now right back on the baseline. Crump fading away for two.
And that's one of the things that they feel like that he's able to do. Face up, knock down that mid-range jumper, and the defenders for SMU are going to have to close out on him and force him to put it on the bounce.
Nice find for an open three. Shagwa loves that shot. Doesn't go down for him. Poised to have a big senior year, and really last season at 7 points and less than 4 rebounds a game, only shooting 25% from three. It was his least healthy statistical year of his career.
Yeah, and you know, talking to the coaching staff about Shagwa, they believe that he should be a double-double guy. But the only thing that remains to be seen about Ethan is, does he want it? Arguably one of the most talented players on the team, one of the best passers, best shooters, but can he put together that intensity required to be that standout? Because he really should be an all-conference player.
Goes 1 of 2 at the line. There is a foul, though, as well.
You know, I think one of the interesting things is, you know, where this is a learning curve for the players, officials have not had the ability to officiate scrimmages as well. So this is brand new to them also.
For Sam Houston, picks up his second foul already, and the freshman Bryce Monroe comes in. And he gets challenged immediately. Nice job to block that one down by Manny Crump right off of Kendrick Davis.
Manny Crump initially has really put his imprint on this game. Getting boards, nice block of the shot, and he had some huge shoes to fill replacing Kai Mitchell, who's a 14.4 points, 6 rebound player, but they feel like he's a better rebounder, better defender than Kyle Mitchell. A whale of a game, and initially he's showing signs of having a blockbuster game.
Foul. His home record as well, including a 15-2 mark at home last season. 15 of their 19 wins were at Moody last year.
And last year was really the first year since our second year since this first year that he took over that
Isaiah Jacey, who picks up the foul, and Tristan Ikpe, a junior transfer out of Flynn College, goes to the line for a couple.
You know, you look at SMU now down 9 to the Bearcats, and you can really see the effect of being without Tyson Jolly, who for me is the identity defensively for the Mustangs. And without him on the court, you lose that toughness, that grit, that player that's going to make plays defensively or offensively when the team needs it.
That's a great point, Stephen. It's not just about the offense that he can bring, which is 14 points a game, but a second-team all-conference player is the lefty Ikpe. Goes 1 of 2 to extend the lead out to 10-3. It's really tough to play without that brash leader on the defensive side.
You know, the Mustangs are giving the Bearcats some confidence, and Zach Nuttall already has got a nice little flow going, but you know, you get to a situation where they get things going defensively, and it's going to be a long night for the Mustangs.
But Emmanuel Vandemel bangs down a 3 off the assist by Shagwell.
Last year when Kendrick Davis was waiting to become eligible, Vandemel really played well initially, and you're seeing that confidence from him early on in this game.
Davis guarding the freshman point guard, Bryce Monroe. Here's Ikpe. On spin move, the up and under, the finish with the left. No, stays alive, and Shagwell claims it. Here's Davis.
By Ikpe, just not able to knock it down.
Trailing Shagwell. He finds an open Davis. Out of the corner, he hits.
And that's one of the things the coaching staff has talked about Davis is his improved three-point shot. And if he gets consistency with that three-point shot, and we already know how deft he is off the pick and roll, Kendrick Davis will be virtually unguardable.
Little 6-0 run here. Lampley holds it out high.
They're off the court, but you know, you have to be safe. You got to, you know, protect the players at all costs because they're the ones night in and night out that are out there performing.
No doubt about it. As Ethan Shagwell tried to dunk one in, Dylan Robertson took the foul to prevent him from having the easy dunk. Another opportunity for Shagwell at the line, a guy that shot 66% last year, but Shagwell already in the top 20 in SMU history in three-pointers made as a 6'9" power forward. Can't make either though. Cyrus Johnson.
Yeah, they expect big things from him. A lot of energy, activity, can do a lot of things, but Coach Hooten just wants to see him do it on a consistent basis.
Cyrus Johnson coming into your frame there, number 54. He picked up the offensive foul there. But of course, Marcus Johnson spent 13 years in the league as well before he was a great.
You cannot be casual with the basketball. And again, some carelessness from the Mustangs just because this is their first time in live action against another opponent. But the activity, the closeouts of the Bearcats, look, they're going after every possession, every ball, and that's what Coach Hooten preaches, and that's the identity of his basketball team year in and year out.
Will Douglas picked up the foul there. Third on SMU. Sam Houston State has already picked up 6, but they've got the lead. Zach Nuttall. SMU as Shagwell picks him up. Ooh, Nuttall just lost his feet.
Really good defensive possession by the Mustangs. Nuttall got a switch that he thought he could take advantage of with Ethan Shagwell.
Against Cyrus Johnson.
And you're seeing the ball stop a lot with the Mustangs. You need to get the ball moving freely from side to side. You want it to touch two corners. Too many individual type of plays.
Neither team into the flow yet. This season is only 6 minutes and 40 seconds old here in Dallas. Normally, you know, teams by this point might have 7 or 8 games under their belt. The first 2 weeks or first 3 weeks in November, a popular time to be playing. Nuttall spinning, finishing with the right hand. What a move. Zach Nuttall with 9 points already for Sam Houston State.
Nuttall has shown the ability to really score from all 3 levels.
Shagwell hasn't had a great game on the offensive side, but defensively he's been pretty good. Nobody can stop Zach Nuttall.
Yeah, good job of feeling the body of Vandemel and going into that spin action, getting into the lane, and nobody really challenged him once he got inside. And I imagine that's why Coach Jankovic brought in JC, because you got to protect the rim at all costs.
Now who scores for Sam Houston State without their best scorer on the floor? He's down to the bench. Out front, Terriante Thomas handing off for a drive. Down the right side of the lane, no by May, but a one-handed tip dunk, Dylan Robertson. Welcome to Division I.
Dylan Robinson off the bench, and we have a lot of promise and expectations for him. They feel like he needs to put on a little bit of weight, but you saw in that last possession his ability to get up and put in the offensive rebound.
That was something else by Robertson as William Doug. Sam Houston State up by 3 on SMU. Welcome back into Moody Coliseum on the first day of college basketball. Seemed like everybody played today. Teams could not wait to get out of the blocks after a couple weeks delay because of COVID-19. Ron Hunt going to the line for a 1-and-1 out of the timeout, knocking down the first. Hunt, the leading rebounder on this SMU team, not only as a sophomore last year, but also as a freshman.
Yeah, first freshman to, there's only been 6 freshmen in the history of SMU basketball to lead the team in rebounding. Ira Terrell, who should be around in this arena, is one of those, but that just shows his ability and athleticism to be able to do that as a freshman.
Hunt takes a seat after knocking down both free throws, making it a 1-point game. Pierce Helms in the game for the first time, wearing number 13 for Sam Houston.
Defense, as you mentioned, for the Mustangs, but for the Bearcats, ball just kept sticking in hands. Wasn't a lot of movement with the pass. The only way to get openings on the defense is to make it ship, and that way you can attack the gaps and attack the rim.
Jason Hooten's team has put together a really tough early against Texas, against Houston. He's got to play Texas Tech as well next. I mean, they're going to run the gamut here early in the season, as that one's a little too strong for Everett Ray.
Good idea by Isaiah Jacey trying to go over the top to Everett Ray. Just a little bit too tough of a pass.
6'7" junior out of Irving.
Bryce Monroe, all the attention goes to Monroe, and you forget about Robinson, who is always going to be attacking their offensive glass. And once he feels it, goes up and gets it. Exciting young man, elevating to get that offensive rebound.
Robertson, who shot 74% last season at Shelton Monroe. Front end of the 1-and-1 goes down. Davis makes both to give him 5 for leading assist man for SMU last year at 6.7. Davis sits down, though. We'll see Emmanuel Van de Mel, who started this game. Bryce Monroe thrust into that point guard spot. As Dante Powers picked up 2 early fouls for Sam Houston. Bearcats have led most of the way. Up and under move for Helms? No. Rebound knocked around to Charles Smith. A trailing 3, Everett Ray, in and out, but an offensive rebound. The stick back doesn't go for JC. And another offensive board. Does this one find the net? Yes! For Charles Smith, the 4th.
Good job by the Mustangs attacking the offensive glass, getting those second chance scoring opportunities. And Charles Smith, the 4th, came in as a shooter, and that's going to do a lot for his confidence.
Finally giving SMU the lead. An offensive rebound, and the stick back doesn't fall by Javion May. This is what SMU loves to do, get out and run. But Bandamel has his pocket picked. It's the freshman, Monroe, hanging and scoring.
Look, one thing you got to remember when you're playing the Bearcats, their steal percentage was top 11 in the country, getting 12% of all defensive possessions as a steal, so you cannot be careless with the basketball.
Douglas, thanks to this beautiful play.
Nice pick there, a little careless by Bandamel, and Bryce Monroe takes it all the way, avoids the contact for the nice play, and you can see the momentum clearly going towards the Bearcats, and Coach Hooten sensing it, trying to get some rest for Monroe and the rest of his starters.
You've seen the score change on the score bug a couple of times there. It's changing also here on the floor. That's the correct score, tied up at 18. 4 points, 3 rebounds, but 2 fouls now on Douglas, and he takes a seat. Davis, same for Sam Houston State since Zach Nuttall was on the bench. He comes right in, takes a jump shot, and Everett Ray fouls him.
I mean, if I'm the Bearcats, though, and Coach Hooten, and only down 2 with that extended break for Zach Nuttall, that played right into their hands, able to really get him some good rest. And as you can see, back on the court, still flowing offensively.
Already 10 points for Zach Nuttall, who led the Bearcats in scoring last season, more than 15 points a game. He could just explode. He went over 20 points 9 times last year and was part of the all-conference team, first team as a sophomore.
Their free throw rate last year, 45% of all their defensive possessions ended up in fouls, and we talked to Coach Hooten about that, and that's something that he wants to improve this year, but they were the 14th worst team in the country as far as fouling, and you don't want to do that against the Mustangs, one of the best teams in the country, at knocking them down from the free throw line.
Kendrick Davis, 74% last year, and knocks down the front end of his double bonus 2. But it seems like Hooten will give you the free throws if it means that his team can be aggressive on the defensive side. He's not just going to back off and stop being defensive.
Yeah, they play a physical brand of basketball, and at times that's a byproduct of being aggressive and attacking defensively. But he wants them to shift and play more defense with your feet and not with your hands. But you got to remember, they have 9 new players, so it's going to take them a little bit of time to get acclimated to this defensive intensity.
4-guard lineup for Sam Houston State. Nuttall in the land of the trees, so he finds Lampley to Thomas. Right back to Nuttall. Squares up a triple. Little bit long, but an offensive rebound inside, and not able to get it go is Terriante Thomas. Davis with a full head of steam.
Love the tenacity of the Bearcats early.
And they've been pretty good all time in season openers, including 8 straight wins. 5-0 in season openers under Tim Jankovic, and even if you take it back the last 24 years, 21-3 in home openers as well. So SMU normally defends that home court when they're playing early in the season. John Little, good to have you back with us. Stephen Howard as well, just above the court here at Moody Coliseum. As SMU swings it and throws it away. Lampley with the steal, steps to the goal and lays it in. That is 13 points off of 8 SMU turnovers for Sam Houston State.
A little confusion by the Mustangs on that last offensive possessions. The Bearcats come out in a 1-2-2 zone, and I don't think the Mustangs realized it and threw it right into the defensive hands.
Davis in and out on the 3. Zach Nuttall, who leads all scorers with 11, comes out with the board.
And when a team comes out to you in a zone, you don't want to just pass it around and shoot from the outside. You want to penetrate, make the defense converge. Mustangs playing right into the Bearcats' hands by shooting it quickly.
Ickbay going back door, Nuttall can't finish. Outstanding look though. Vandemel throws it back to Davis. Right back to Vandemel, good head fake. Finds Hunt, extra pass. Smith, nothing. Finds Vandemel with a dangerous pass. Plenty of time to shoot. Smith in rhythm. Yes.
And on that position, John, you saw patience. And when you are patient, when you explore the defense, and again, as I mentioned earlier, when you have that high free throw rate that the Bearcats have, you put the opposing team on the free throw line. And last year, the Mustangs shot 76.2% from the free throw line. That was top 25 in the country, #1 in the American Athletic Conference. And so that benefits the Mustangs immensely, gets them a little bit more continuity and confidence on the offensive side of the court.
Right now, it's a place where it's giving them a lead as well, as Charles Smith IV knocks down the first foul shot. Bryce Monroe back in to play point. Javion May held it down for a few possessions for Sam Houston State. Another one of these 5 JUCO transfers for Sam Houston. It's Charles Smith IV, a great start. Job by Kendrick Davis to take the charge.
Good job, as you mentioned, by Kendrick Davis, and you see them fake the back door, and then Ickbay attacks the rim, and Davis gets in that legal guarding position, feet outside the restricted area to tank the charge.
Kendrick Davis leading SMU, our second on the team with 7 points. Chagua picks up the foul, and Bryce Monroe, he battled for the starting point guard role for Sam Houston State with Dante Powers, a guy that has more experience at junior college and got the start today, but Monroe, they think he really has a bright future.
Well, yeah, and you can see in this game what he brings to the table, a guy with exceptional speed and quickness and a nice feel for the basketball, where Powers will have that experience, has the length that Coach Hooten likes defensively for pressure, but offensively, Bryce Monroe showing that quickness and ability to navigate that point guard position.
Exactly. Known as a very quick point guard and the high school player of the year for the city of San Francisco, where he averaged 20 points a game at Bishop Riordan High School. Oh, that one crawls out. Ron Hunt's there for the rebound. So SMU, after an unsteady start, leads it by 4, and Kendrick Davis tries to help grow it. Nice hesitation. And underneath, he finishes himself.
The Bearcats got out of that 1-2-2 zone, which I thought affected the Mustangs a little bit. One-on-one, Kendrick Davis too quick. His ability to get to the rim and attack the paint.
For Emmanuel Bandamel as we look at KD.
Good job, little hesitation, freezes the defense, and then right when Bryce Monroe lifts up, a good offensive player senses that and then attacks the rim and goes into the body, and you're seeing the maturation of Kendrick Davis and what he brings into the table. You can tell that offensively things have slowed down for him, able to get a full season this year under his belt.
Another foul on Crump. He comes out of the game for Dylan Robertson. But how big is that, just evolving Kendrick Davis's offensive game, his ability to score, especially right now with Tyson Jolly out?
Well, I'm really surprised that Kendrick Davis's name has not been mentioned more around the country as one of the top point guards. You look at last year, he was...
Kendrick Davis leading the way for SMU so far, and also on the American preseason first team.
Yeah, you got a quality group right there with Caleb Mills, preseason player of the year with Houston, who are always going to be at the forefront with the exceptional job they've done. But again, Kendrick Davis, just his ability to do so many different things and his improvement this year from the three-point line, I really think that those across the nation are going to take notice once the season goes full sway underway.
9 points, couple assists for Davis so far. Zach Nuttall has starred for Sam Houston State, and he cinches the strings to give him 14.
And that's another player who improved over the offseason, added his ability to create for his teammates. But what Coach Hooten will say is, look, we want him to be a volume shooter. He can pass when he needs to, but we want him putting the ball in the bucket.
Davis showing off his one-on-one skills, but Robertson pulls out the rebound, and Nuttall tries to push, down by 7. Nice find for a wide-open 3, but it's over the top by Lampley, and Hunt starts the break, finding Davis. Oh, nice eyes to Bandamel. Bandamel can't make it go. Offensive rebound, though, by Jamar Young Jr. Repositions it out to Davis, steps in, fires and hits.
Really good possession for the Mustangs. You saw them move it, the basketball side to side, get the shot that they want, and then Jamar Young Jr. up for the second chance scoring opportunity, gets it to Kendrick Davis, who knocks it down, and just being relentless on the offensive glass, but being patient, more importantly, is what I'm seeing by SMU down the stretch.
Back to Nuttall, just hit a 3, and that one won't climb in. Bad luck for Zach Nuttall, who leads all scorers with 14. Big play by Jamar Young Jr.
And you're seeing him create that possession and more importantly, just not giving up on the basketball. He sees that he's surrounded by 3 players, which is very good awareness for a young player. Kicks it out to Kendrick Davis, who's knocked down his shot. And not all the last 2 possessions have been forcing the action a little bit too much. You want him to be aggressive, but you don't want him to be reckless with his aggressiveness. He needs to trust his teammates with that aggressive nature. But again, a lot of growing pains. Kendrick Davis doing a good job. When he's got the basketball, you got to keep your head up because he's going to kick it to you. But watch Jamar Young Jr. He seals it for Bandamel. I love the court awareness by Jamar Young Jr. creating that space for Bandamel to attack unhindered to the rim.
Stephen Howard always sending a little love to the forwards. Cyrus Johnson comes in for Dylan Robertson. One of several players who's picked up multiple behind that mask. Now the 5th-year head coach of SMU. trying to lead his team through a pandemic season. He said, you know, probably the weirdest thing is somebody sticking something up your nose every other day. You know, the testing protocol. These guys all have to go through coronavirus testing 3 times a week. Both teams do. And, you know, it's just such a weird time to think about. Can you even imagine saying any of these words a year ago when we opened up the season, that the next year we'd be saying these things?
No, you can't imagine, but it's the new normal. Just the ability to sense when it's time to attack.
In South Florida, you look at the other 11 kind of rolling it out there, but what does that tell you, these preseason rankings, and how highly SMU is thought of?
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, they have everyone back, and I think the big thing with that ranking is the fact that their backcourt with Davis and Tyson Jolly, because in college basketball, when you have 2 good perimeter players like they do, you're always going to be in the mix. But you add to that the veteran of Ethan Shagwa and Ferron Hunt, and that is a complementary situation that should bode well for the Mustangs.
Sam Houston State, you see the game clock to shot clock difference about 9 as Nuttall pulls up for 3.
Top 11 in the country in steal percentage. You're going to look to them in the second half to try to implement more pressure and try to junk up this game a little bit and mess up the flow and continuity that the Mustangs have offensively.
Leading scorers in the first half, Zach Nuttall and Kendrick Davis, and we're back to play in the second half with Sam Houston State with the basketball and moving to your right. Dante Powers, who had to sit most of the first half with a couple fouls, wearing number 24, back in the point guard spot. Tristan Ikpe, number 12, didn't do much in the first half. Nuttall did a whole bunch. Stepping back, and he hits another one. Zach Nuttall with 18.
And Nuttall's a player that you almost have to force the ball out of his hands, because whenever he has it across the half-court line, he's going to feel comfortable enough to let it loose.
Kendrick Davis almost couldn't handle that pass. Look at the way he can break down a defense, though. High low, good catch inside, and the finish by JC off the pass by Ethan Shagwa.
And John, you might remember me in the first half mentioning that Ethan Shagwa is arguably the best passer on the team, and you saw him just drop the ball perfectly for Isaiah JC out of the reach of the defender.
Zach Nuttall, is there any doubt that he can play at this level? 21 for the young man.
And I can guarantee you Coach Hooten in halftime pulled Nuttall to the side and told him, look, this is your time. It's time to go put it up. There's nobody in this arena.
Out. And let's take you back as well while they're sorting all this out. And let's go to Nuttall.
Yeah, and you just see this team. He comes off a nice pin down screen, and you got to close out Nuttall quickly when he gets the basketball, because again, when he gets the basketball at the 3-point line, he is ready to shoot. So you got to turn him into
in this contest. So Nuttall pulling the trigger a little bit more here early in the season than he did in his sophomore year.
Well, again, he has accepted that leadership mantle, and he knows that he's going to have that bullseye on his back every game, and he has to be aggressive. They want him to be a distributor at times, but for the most part, he's the guy they want to fill up the bucket with points.
Ron Hunt picking up a
ability by Davis. He doesn't want Nuttall to get some confidence and momentum for the Bearcats. Just a little sliver of light is all Kendrick Davis needs, and you see a little Euro step by Davis, able to split the defense and get into the lane.
Really pretty. And Davis, who led the American, almost 7 assists a game last year, leads his team in scoring tonight with 22 of the 50 for SMU, opening up that 13-point lead. Nuttall, a third 3 in the first half? No. How about a 2? And on balance, 2.
On that last.
Zach Nuttall has been hot in the second half.
Yeah, 27 points when we barely started the second half. And again, as I mentioned earlier, he comes off that down screen, ready to shoot. You have to have a hand in his face, close him out, force him not only to be a dribbler, but force him to get rid of the basketball. SMU has not done a great job thus far in this game of making Zach Nuttall uncomfortable with the basketball.
As if 15 points in the first half wasn't enough, he's got 12 in the first 2.5 minutes of the second half. This time an opportunity on the baseline for Manny Crump, but his shot doesn't go. SMU keeps pushing, up by a baker's dozen. Davis doesn't stop that dribble underneath the goal, the reverse.
A little Steve Nash there by Kendrick Davis, prodding the defense and just waiting for the defense to relax and see his opening and laying up undersized. Just the basketball IQ by Kendrick Davis being displayed in this first and second half is exceptional.
Zach Nuttall this time marked by Vandemel. Spin move. Finds Dante Powers behind a screen. Doesn't fall, but Crump with the offensive rebound. Throws it away to Shagwa. Davis again. Off balance this time.
Kendrick Davis the defense got away with a foul there. He felt the contact and went up and one opportunity. But again, Kendrick Davis and Zach Nuttall playing with extreme confidence early in the second half.
New career high for Kendrick.
For the Bearcats.
Only had 2 points in the first half, but has a big assist on one end, big advantage, and it looks like Nuttall is going to pick up the foul. Jason Hooten, you were talking about Tristan Ikpe. Hooten said when he went to see Ikpe play at Glenn College, it was Hooten's daughter who was with him on that recruiting trip that said, hey, Dad, this is the kind of guy that you always say you want in your program. You need to go get that number 12. Oh, Shagwa, Ethan Shagwa with his 101st. SMU up 59 to doing it on a huge stage. John Little back with Stephen Howard in Dallas, and a turnover forced by the pressure.
Yeah, you see the Bearcats going in there full court pressure, trying to speed up this game and disrupt the flow of the Mustangs, and a careless entry pass that Shagwa just did not look in his hands.
Bryce Monroe trying to run the point, gets stopped, finds Nuttall, but it's too late. SMU with a good defensive possession, each team turning it over their last two possessions.
This type of pressure, you just want to get the ball to Davis and then just spread out and just allow him to break it by himself.
That's exactly what they do. Kendrick Davis has been handling the ball and handling the bulk of the scoring as well. He has 26 of the 59 for SMU tonight. Shagwa in the post, passing out. Smith hits the three, leaning in. He's got a career-high 11.
I love the unselfishness of Ethan Shagwa, but I also would like to see him try to assert his dominance down on the block and at least test the defender a little bit before he passes it out.
The defense as Monroe takes it inside. Shagwa, or rather it's JC rejecting it. The ball kept alive. Plenty of time left to shoot for Sam Houston State after the big block by JC. Nuttall trying to.
He just has the confidence, the flow of his games, and an ability to score from the three levels, three-point line, attack the rim, nice free throw jumper, but most importantly, he's got the confidence and the green light from Coach Hooten.
And as the roster gains more experience around him during November and December, what do you think that's going to mean for conference play for them?
Oh, it's going to bode well because with Tristan Ikpe and Manny Crump, they're going to be able to go big in Southland Conference, and they're going to be able to establish an interior dominance that not a lot of teams in Southland have, as far as two serviceable bigs that can go to work.
Here's Ikpe going to work on the reverse with the left.
So while this game might not be going the way that it looks like the Bearcats would like, I feel like the Bearcats are poised for a breakout season, and most people would think, hey, you got 9 new players, you're just trying to get acclimated. But Coach Hooten, look, he's going for a championship this year, and he's trying to get his team ready.
Kendrick Davis will not be denied, falling away off one leg. 29 for KD.
I feel like this is like Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook going back and forth at each other. You're seeing a display of proficiency from the point guard position from 2 amazing players.
Absolute head shakers, some of these shots. You love to see it. Not all. Just rims out. Davis goes to grab it. Davis with his 4th rebound to go with 28 points. Hunt, extra pass. Charles Smith, the 4th. Can't come up with that one, and not all. Strong rebound.
Love the extra pass by Ferron Hunt on that possession. Could have taken the 3. Got it to Charles Smith, the 4th. Missed a shot, but that's the unselfishness you want from your team.
Monroe off on his 3, and Davis does not have numbers, but he pushes anyway. Hunt dips the shoulder, can't score it. Offensive rebound inside, and the stick back doesn't go for Young.
You know, Jamar Young Jr., you can tell he's getting his sea legs. And
showtime for Hunt, out of the Raptors.
And talking about someone that does not have sea legs, Ferron Hunt is a ESPN top 10 play in the making every time he touches the basketball.
So long at 6'8". And the DeSoto grad, south of the Metroplex, made that fall away from a 2 to a 3. So that gives him 29. And Davis has knocked down 9 of his last 10 field goals. Incredible efficiency for the 5'11" guard from Houston. Meanwhile, Tristan Ikpe, 1 of 3 at the line today, make it 2 of 4. 4 points in his debut for Sam Houston State. Sam Houston is stuck around for most of the night against SMU, but just too much Kendrick Davis. In the post, Shagwa trying to go to work. Double, turns away from it. Has it poked out. Bandamel saves it with 6, with 5. From the corner, Shagwa cans it.
You know, it's funny, as a big man, he's just more adept and more comfortable on the exterior than he is on the interior. Can score on the block, but threaten. Does it now you can see me, now you don't. Goes up with the left with authority. And again, you can see the moves that make Coach Hooten and the coaching staff excited about Tristan Ikpe. He just has to have time to put it all together, but I do believe he's going to be a double-double guy and be a person that they're going to be able to rely on the interior.
Coach Hooten calls him just a breath of fresh air to the program. It's not just about what he can do on the floor. It's about what he just brings to the program. He says he's a cerebral, intelligent guy.
Yeah, and he's got a passion for rebounding. And with him and Manny Crump, it gives them something they did not have last year. And on the rebounding end, particularly offensive rebounding for the opposing team, they were getting attacked night in and night out, and they feel like this will be able to shore that up this year for the Bearcats.
21 is the largest lead, though, for SMU. Number 3 on Emmanuel Bandamel. Or rather 4 now on Bandamel. And obviously he's going to have to take a seat. He was hot early with 7 early points, hasn't scored since. Just a quick rest.
A lot of moves, ability to go up and under, shoot nice little mid-range. So he just got to get a little bit comfortable with the situation, with the system of the Bearcats, but he's going to be a force to be reckoned with this season.
Take a short breath.
Talked earlier about the basketball IQ of Ethan Shagwa, and you saw on that play, sees Charles Smith IV dash into the middle, and not too many plays on the court are going to be able to split the defense like that and lay it perfectly into their teammate's hand. And that's the skill set that Ethan Shagwa brings to the table.
Douglas back to Shagwa, make sure he's shooting for 3, but comes up short. Dante Powers with the board for Sam Houston State. Bearcats clad in orange. Need some points in a hurry. Tipped out front, but Crump saves it. Thomas playing that high post. Can't score, and Hunt, the leading rebounder the last 2 years for SMU, dishes it off to Davis. Douglas into the D, back to Hunt. Shagwa again, yes!
Ethan Shagwa is not going to miss too many wide open three from distance. You got to close him out, make him put it on the bounce, or at least let him shoot over an extended arm. The defensive intent, and if you allow him that, he's going to knock it down just like he did on that possession.
Well, he says he was shorter growing up, so he played a lot of guard positions growing up. He had kind of a growth spurt late, and obviously when you're 6'9", you get put in the post, but he's got those abilities, the passing, the shooting abilities. You really doing a nice job sharing the basketball and seeing each other in the second half.
Yeah, just a lot of patience. You see Isaiah JC allows the play to develop, doesn't force anything, sees William Douglas attack the rim, and just nice pass, similar to the one that Ethan Shagwa threw a couple possessions earlier.
Douglas in his junior season took a red shirt last year because of a hand injury. He's in double figures with 10 and just one shy of his career. Out of Reunion Tower, SMU up on Sam Houston State 79-57. 8 minutes to go in this initial game of the 2020-2021 season. Moody Coliseum is the spot. Along with Stephen Howard, I'm John Little, our entire ESPN crew. We are so happy that basketball is here. Sam Houston State tries to cut into this lead and make it rough. JUCO transfer. Dante Powers can't hit, and a breakout for Davis, who's had a huge game. Nice setup. William Douglas has a career-high 12.
SMU in numbers, and you had the basketball in the right person's hands. Kendrick Davis made it work for the Mustangs.
Davis only with his third assist. Remember, he averaged almost 7 a game last year. Here's Zach Nuttall, the shooting star. Way off on that one, and Ferron Hunt has a little space. He finds Davis, lobs for Hunt for the two-handed jam.
Again, when Kendrick Davis came to the Mustangs last year, the players would push it up themselves, but once they got acclimated to him, they'd give him the rock because they trust him, and you're seeing that trust on full display latter part of the second half.
It's opened up the biggest lead of the game as Terriante Thomas is in and out. Get it right back to Davis. 29, 4 assists, back to Douglas, leading in and hitting a triple.
I think Davis is up to his 5 assists now in this game. And again, the next play, attacking the rim, getting 3 players to converge and throwing it up to his plastic man, Ferron Hunt, who does the rest. Again, I think you're witnessing one of the better point guards in the country, Kendrick Davis, between his legs. And now that's just not nice to Douglas for the 3. I mean, now he is just in his bag of tricks.
I love it. Davis splitting the double here. No look alley-oop to Hunt. This time denied. Nice job by Terriante Thomas to stay with it. You got to tip the cap. Your team's down big, still executing defensively. Bryce Monroe is left alone. They'll let the freshman test it. No, but Robertson the offensive rebound. Nuttall with 32 in this game, skips to the hoop and makes it 34. Man, the way that these two scores have gone at it. Zach Nuttall with 34 and Kendrick Davis, who you see right there, with his 29 points to go along with 5 assists. It has been an entertaining night at Moody.
Well, I think with Kendrick Davis, he's more comfortable as a facilitator, but he understands with Tyson Jolly not able to play tonight, you know, great players step up to the moment, and that's what his team needed. They needed him to be assertive offensively, and he is doing just that for them tonight.
Led to a career high 31 for the junior, exceeding his previous career high by 7. Oh, a muscly move by Zach Nuttall.
Nuttall just has a knack for the basket. Whatever the defense gives him, he finds a way to get to the rim, and he has the athleticism and really the quickness to turn quarters, attack the rim, and a nice jumper as well.
JC not quite under control, but makes the second one go for SMU.
And I think Isaiah JC
against Charles Smith the 4th for SMU. But you look up, thanks to the efficiency of SMU in the second half. I mean, their offense has really come alive. They're up to 90 points. They've hit 7 of their last 9 field goals.
Well, you look at them last year, they were 28th in the country at adjusted offensive efficiency, and that's where they are this year, and projected to be in that range throughout the season. They can score. It's their ability to defend with consistency that is really the big question mark for the Mustangs.
Welcome back into Dallas, the skyline on this late November evening. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Great to have you back with us here at SMU. And there's Ira Terrell, previously the most points in a season opener, 30 by that man back in 1975 against St. Louis, but the man at the free throw line has 32 now. Kendrick Davis with a whale of a game.
I didn't know Ira could play like that. I mean, I knew he was a good golfer now, but I'm gonna have to holler him after the game.
No doubt. But a huge performance. That says a lot by Kendrick Davis as Manuel Bandamel comes in, but Kendrick Davis.
And as I mentioned earlier, great players embrace those moments, and you saw that from Davis tonight.
You were talking about SMU's efficiency on the offensive side. Obviously, Davis leads to that, but when you're playing without Jolly, a couple of players in Darius McBride and Darius McNeil, who they think are going to be contributors, did it surprise you tonight how well they played on offense?
It did, and I saw a little rust early on, but when you shoot 53% from the three-point line, 57% from the field.
Jamar Young Jr. trying to score his first point of the young season. Meanwhile, Kean Scroggins comes in for the first time, making his debut, a 6'7" freshman out of Raymore, Missouri. Jamar Young, a young post, a three-star prospect out of DeSoto High School. Hitting on the first, appeared in 22 games last year, and he'll be called on to be part of that big depth this season.
You know, what they had to endure, and it's a different type of season. So teams, players, officials, broadcasters even, there's going to be a lot of adjustments made throughout this year, and hopefully, you know, administrators, people, viewers give grace to these players because they've had to endure a lot.
Oh, there's no doubt, and they were just trying to get to this point. I think both coaches, you could hear it in their voice this week, they were kind of wary. I mean, are we really going to play? You're serious? We're really going to play a game? Yes, they really did today, and it's been very entertaining.
All you got to do is look at the top of that, and SMU, particularly throughout that second half, execute. You got to tip your hat to Kendrick Davis. I mean, 53% from the three, 57% from the field. They definitely executed and have fun. Look, when you're about to put that 100 up, 94 points, and you're scoring, everyone's touching the ball, there's no better fun than that as a basketball player. But to add to that, when you win, no better recipe for fun than winning, particularly your opening game.
Having fun, even though we're wearing masks on the bench. 0 for 2 at the line by Jaron Cook on that little trip. And or rather 1 of 2 for the young man from Carrollton, Texas, here in the Metroplex to SMU.
Yeah, that shot was a little undercooked. Sorry, I had to. It's been a long day.
Just a little.
I mean, this is my first time out of my house in like 7 months. So
it's good to see you. I don't know.
Hey, I had to just throw one out there.
Well, I see, you know, you shaved coming up here too.
I did shave.
Absolutely. You look good. Look at him.
Hey,
he looks incredible.
I've heard the face is all I've got, but thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
He rolls out of bed like this. It's amazing with the pocket square. He's always got the festive like pocket square. He's going to outdo me in the pocket
I've
square.
had a long time to think about what I was going to wear today. I mean, this is all I've been doing, like this, that. I mean, my closet was getting tired of me looking in there. Like, look, just pick something.
You rearranged it by color about 7 times.
Absolutely.
Over the course of the pandemic. Well, it's good to see you, and it's good to see hoops. That is for sure. And we're going to see a lot of it here at SMU as Kean Scroggins hits on the hook shot. SMU looking for 100. And Bandamel with his third strike as there is a stoppage of the clock here. Little discrepancy in the clock as SMU goes to Alex Tabor Jr., a sophomore guard out of Charlotte for the first time. Moody Coliseum, and there are the diehards there to cheer on their Mustangs in the student section.
You're absolutely correct. I mean, if you're showing up for games in a pandemic, you love basketball. I mean, you are about that life. So, I mean, you got to tip your hat to these. I mean, they're fighting more things than we can imagine attending this game.
I mean, you're yelling in your mask, and you're swallowing spit all game. It's just tough.
Yes, it is.
You gotta commend them. Tip our hat. As Powers goes 1 of 2 on that trip, and Everett Ray brings out the rebound. Sam Houston State gave some great fight, and if you're just joining us, I mean, we saw an incredible game from Zach Nuttall. Open 3 by Tabor, doesn't fall. I tell you, Moody was about to get really mad if that one went down.
I feel like the pandemic would have ended if Tabor Jr. would have knocked that shot down.
Well, then just start hoisting him up, my friend. That's what every one of us want. Another opportunity by the freshman out of Carrollton, Jaron Cook. A lot of threes being taken late in this one. The efficiency comes down, but the quick basketball continues to be played.
The ending of this game, but you got to believe that he sees the pieces that he needs to have a successful campaign in the South League Conference. And again, leaving early in the morning, not able to have practice last night or shoot around this morning, you can see that he got the things that he wanted to improve upon and upgrade from last year. Defense, rebounding, and Nuttall, all conference type of playing. And then for the Mustangs, I mean, they are as advertised, and Kendrick Davis is much improved, like the coaching staff mentioned, and they are going to be a force to contend with.
In a row. Coming off the screen, Hellam's rolling to the glass, and that's a goal.